Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto Was in Rosario Vampire, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. The classes themselves were all in familiar subjects. His very first one was calculus, the bane of his existence. As a rule, Naruto had no use for any math that involved letters. He and Mocha shared only 2 classes. When they were together, she made a point of always sitting next to him. Word of his encounter with Yukari seemed to spread quickly. He noticed that many of the students would give him looks. Mercifully, they were not the rage-filled looks that still stained his nightmares. No, most of the looks were of a mild contempt or dislike, and not all of the students gave them to him. But enough did for him to realize that though he was now an accepted part of the school, he was not a well-liked one. XXXXXXXXXX. When class ended, he found Mocha waiting for him outside the main entrance. She was of course surrounded by a small crowd of adoring boys. She quickly but politely escaped their clutches so that she could come over to him. After greeting him and asking how his day had gone, she wrapped herself around one of his arms and they headed back to the dorms. Mocha was in an excited and talkative mood and eager to share how her day had gone. Naruto was more than happy just to listen to her. She had the most amazing smile and it pleased him just to see her happy. I want to always see her smiling. He was not going to depress her with how things were going for him. After all, at least he didn't have to worry about being found out anymore. Everyone now knew he was a human and his life had not been ended. Though he didn't much care for how some people were treating him, he'd known worse, much worse, and knew he could deal with a few nasty looks and rude comments. So long as he got to spend time with Mocha, he figured he could deal with anything and still count himself lucky. They were most of the way back to the dorm when a metal pot seemed to materialize and then drop right on top of Mocha's head. Bam! Ow! Mocha shouted and started rubbing the top of her head. Are you alright, Mocha-chan? Naruto asked. That was when an upset-looking Yukari stepped out in front of them, angrily waving her wand at Mocha. Hey you! Stay away from my boyfriend. Boyfriend? Naruto said faintly. Yukari looked up at him pleadingly. Yes, I love you, so won't you please go out with me? Still rubbing the top of her head, Mocha nevertheless gave the little girl a friendly look. I think no one was talking to you, vampire. She waved her wand and a second larger pot landed on Mocha's head. Bam! Ow! I'll use my magic to protect my boyfriend from any of you monsters who would just end up hurting him. Oh. Okay. That's enough. Naruto rushed over to Yukari and easily snatched the wand out of her hand. Hey, give that back. I can't do my magic without it. Oh really? Naruto took the wand in both hands. Then I guess if I were to snap it in half. Please don't. Yukari cried out. Why are you being so mean to me? I just want to help you. You mean like this morning when you told the whole school I was a ninja? That wasn't a help. Yukari looked up at him unhappily. I'm sorry about that, but it's better this way. Now you don't have to pretend to be something you're not. This way it's easy for us to be together. Naruto's face darkened. You did it on purpose. I actually thought it might have been a mistake made by an overexcited little girl. I'm not a little girl. Just how old are you? 11, and before you ask, I'm here because I'm a genius and I skipped a few grades. Well, I should just go ahead and snap this thing in half for all the trouble you've caused me and for attacking Mocha-chan. But she's going to hurt you. Yukari said desperately. She's not like you and me. There's no way she could care about you like I could. How can you say that? You don't even know her. I know she's a monster, Yukari said darkly. I know how they treat people like us, like we're so unworthy and so beneath them. And if the rumors are true and she's a vampire, that only makes it even worse. Vampires are among the most powerful monsters and the worst elitists. She'll never truly care about you. The best you can hope for is that she'll use you for a while before she gets tired of you. That's not true, Mocha said. Yukari-san, please believe that I would never use Naruto-kun like that. To me, Naruto-kun is my most precious friend. I treasure his friendship and his company. Naruto-kun is very special to me. She smiled at him and Naruto could feel his heart beating faster. Also his blood is much too delicious for me to ever stop seeing him. Ah, well, that last part aside, you can see that Mocha-chan isn't trying to use me and she doesn't treat as any sort of inferior. What would you know? Yukari said angrily. This is your first time in a monster school. I've been in them since I was 5, I know what they're like. Don't prejudge Mocha-chan just because she is a monster, isn't that what some of them do when they call us half-breed? It's not the same. I thought you'd understand. Naruto shook his head. I understand that you're doing the same thing that others are doing to you. You're condemning Mocha without even trying to get to know her. Mocha-chan is a kind, sweet girl and very precious to me. Since he was looking at Yukari, he failed to notice Mocha's face turn a bright red. I won't let anyone attack her, even if it's with cookware. I'll give you this back if you promise not to attack her anymore. You're so stupid, Yukari sounded bitter. You care more about that vampire than you do about me. That's because Mocha-chan is my friend while you're a girl who's trying to force me to be her boyfriend. I don't care if she's a vampire, I only care that she's my friend. He held the wand up. Now, do you want this back or not? Yes, Yukari said. Do you promise not to attack Mocha again? I promise. Now give me back my wand. Here then, he handed it over to her. But you had better keep your promise. Bam. Ow. Naruto rubbed the top of his head as he watched Yukari run away. I never said I wouldn't hurt you, you big jerk. Yukari quickly fled from sight. Are you all right? Mocha asked. I'll live. Do you think you were a little hard on her? He looked at Mocha in surprise. She outed me as a ninja for her own selfish reasons and then she attacked you just because you're a vampire. How should I have treated her? She didn't attack me because I'm a vampire. She attacked me because she thought I was standing in her way. And that's better. She's trying to keep me from being with you. Naruto-kun, that girl has probably been treated as an outcast since she was 5. She's probably very lonely and is just desperate to have a friend. Witches are a rare breed and before meeting you I had never heard of ninjas. Except maybe for her family, you may be the only person she has ever met who is like her. Do you really blame her for going a little overboard trying to make you like her? You said it yourself, Naruto-kun, she spoke quietly. It's terrible being all alone. XXXXXXXXXX. Yukari ran as fast as she could while trying to hold back her tears. Idiot, 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 why did I think he would understand? He's just a fool. He'll probably end up being that vampire's pet. I'm glad he doesn't like me, it's fine. She reached up to wipe away her tears. I'm used to being alone. Running and wiping her eyes, she ran into someone. She stumbled and the wand fell from her grasp. Hey, watch where you're going, a tall dark-haired boy hissed. I'm very sorry. Yukari reached to get her wand but another boy grabbed it instead. Hey, give that back. What are you doing in that ridiculous outfit? The first boy asked. You're supposed to wear the school uniform just like everyone else. What do you think, you're too good to follow the rules like the rest of us? A third boy asked. Stupid half-breed probably does think the rules don't apply to her. A fourth boy said. Yukari suddenly found herself surrounded by 4 angry boys who were a lot bigger than she was. It's nothing like that, she explained. I just think I look cute this way. Well, I think you look like an ugly witch, the original boy said. Yukari tried to hide the fact she was afraid. She knew no one would put their N out to help someone like her. And without her wand she was just an ordinary 11-year-old human girl. Please just give me my wand. The boy with the wand handed it to the first boy. You mean this wand? Sure, I'll give it back to you. He held it out over his head in front of her. All you have to do is just take it. She was being humiliated and there was nothing she could do about it. Things never changed. From behind there was a blur as a figure leapt up and over him and snatched the wand from his hand. Naruto landed on his feet next to Yukari and handed her back her wand. Here you go. Who are you? The first boy demanded to know. He's another damn half-breed like the witch. One of the other boys said. Actually, I'm a ninja, and I'm also, he put a hand on Yukari's shoulder. Yukari's friend, if you're going to mess with her you'll be messing with me too. And with me. Mocha stepped between 2 of the boys and also put a hand on Yukari's other shoulder. The first boy stared uncomprehendingly at Mocha. You're not a half-breed like these two. Why are you siding with them? I will always stand up for and protect the people who are my friends. And even if they were strangers, what you are doing here is wrong. It doesn't take any courage to bully someone who is weaker than you. The boy looked angry, but he could see a crowd gathering around him and his friends. People might stand by to watch a couple half-breeds get beaten, but there would be a riot if he touched the academy beauty. He looked at his friends. Let's go, the smell here is starting to make me sick. As the four boys left, Yukari turned gratefully to Naruto and Mocha. I thought you didn't like me. Well, Naruto said, to be honest, I don't like people trying to force things on me, but I do know what it's like to be all alone. It can make you do desperate things. He smiled down at her. Now I'm afraid I can't be your boyfriend, but I can be your friend. You don't have to be alone anymore. And I would also like to be your friend, Yukari-san. Mocha said, I've also known what it's like to be alone, and I would never let anyone suffer that. You really mean all that? Both of them nodded. Naruto, I am very sorry for the trouble I've caused you, and I promise that from now on I'll always try to help you in any way I can. I'm very glad to hear that. Yukari looked up at Mocha. I'm very sorry for all the mean things I said about you, I take them all back. That's all right, Mocha said. And also, she suddenly leapt up and glomped onto her chest, her hands clinging tightly to Mocha's BS. I love you. What? A stunned Naruto could only stare, unable to move. IYAA. Mocha cried out and began flailing her arms about as Yukari continued to hang on. I love you and I love Naruto. Let's move in together and share one big bed. That was way too much and poor Naruto immediately passed out. XXXXXXXXXX. After finally convincing Yukari that no one would be sharing anyone's bed, the three of them had gone to dinner at a dorm cafeteria. Need it even be mentioned that Mocha once again turned Naruto's N into a juice box? The three of them sat together and talked for a while, getting to know each other. Unfortunately, even though it was only the first day of class, they had been loaded down with homework. Naruto turned down Yukari's kind offer to do it for him and he headed back to his room. Well, this has sure been an interesting day. I'm glad it's over. He opened the door to his room and switched on the light. Hello darling, I'm so glad we can finally be alone. Naruto froze. There lying on his sleeping mat was the beautiful and buxom Kurumu. And she was wearing nothing but a sheer black teddy and some black lace panties. The teddy was so thin he had no trouble at all seeing the shape of what was hidden underneath. I can see her BS. His poor teenage mind screamed. He was completely stunned and didn't know what to do. So he said the first thing that popped into his mind. I really like your BS. No, I did not just say that. Somehow he was sure that if he'd said something like that to Mocha he'd have gotten slapped. If he'd said it to her vampire form he probably would have gotten stomped into jelly. Kurumu immediately sat up and laughed. Yahoo! I knew you would. She began to shake her chest back and forth for his pleasure. As much as he was enjoying what he was seeing, Naruto shut his eyes for a moment and tried to get his raging hormones under control. He was after all a 15-year-old boy, which meant that hormones made up roughly half his body weight. How did you get in here? I thought girls weren't allowed past the ground floor. I flew in through the window. She nodded to her school uniform that was neatly folded by the bed. Now why don't you come here and sit next to me, darling? He opened his eyes again. Using all the discipline he'd learned from Iruka, he managed to gain a little self-control. What are you doing here? She smiled and stretched her back a bit. Isn't it obvious? I've decided not to fool around. This is the ultimate succubus seduction technique. You should feel honored. It usually wouldn't take more than a glance for me to make you mine. But you resisted my charm, so I was required to take more drastic measures. What does this ultimate technique involve? She laughed and began running a hand along her creamy thigh. About what you'd expect, what you'd hope for, I'm going to give you my body. Give me your body. He immediately slammed his hands together. Kai. She stared at him. What are you doing? Seeing nothing had changed, he grinned at her sheepishly. Sorry, I thought this might be a genjutsu. What's a genjutsu? It's an illusion. I've never even had a date or kissed a girl. So to have a beautiful girl just show up in my room offering me, well, I figured it couldn't be real. Smiling, she licked her lips. Well, lucky you, it's real. We'll spend the whole night making love. I'm real flexible, so you can bend me any way you want. We can do anything your twisted little mind can dream up. I won't say no. I'll give you pleasure like you've never even dreamed of. And come the morning, it'll be my name on your lips. I'll give you such a wondrous night you'll never want anyone else but me in your bed. Now, she patted the spot next to her. Come here, darling, and we'll begin. He just stared at her. A beautiful sea girl with huge BS is lying in front of me offering to have kinky S all night with me. And the weirdest part about all this, it's what I'm about to say. I think you should leave. Kurumu's jaw literally dropped. What did you just say? Naruto gulped. I said that you should leave. She simply sat there and stared at him for a moment. Leave. She stood up. You want me to leave? Is that what you want? Her voice was low, but it was quivering. Her glare seemed hot enough to start fires. His heart pounding, Naruto managed a slight nod. Yeah. I offer to F your brains out and you want me to leave. She reached out and grabbed his wrists. Before he knew it, she slapped both his hands on top of her BS. There. Feel that? Don't they feel great? I've had men from 8 to 80 staring at my chest wishing they could put their hands where yours are now. I could knock on any door in this entire dorm, and do you think anyone would turn down what I just offered you? Oh my Kami, they feel amazing. They're so soft and supple. Probably not. Then why? She suddenly shoved him with surprising strength. He slammed into the door. Am I that ugly to you? Do you really hate me so much that you don't even want me to pleasure you? What is it? Tell me. The door had a crack running down the middle of it. Naruto carefully rubbed his hurting back while eyeing this furious woman standing in front of him. It's nothing like that. You're absolutely beautiful and see as hell. If this were all happening a week ago, I'd probably have fallen on my knees to praise Kami and then jumped you. She glared at him. Then why? Because if I did anything with you, it would feel like I was betraying Mocha-chan, and I won't do anything that will hurt her. You won't take me because it would hurt Mocha. Just what the hell is she to you? She is my precious friend. Friend, that's all. That's more than enough. She genuinely cares about me and I know how special that is. I can be a lot more than just a friend to you. I can be your lover. Slowly, and regretfully, Naruto shook his head. I won't even pretend that I'm not seriously tempted, but I can't. She let out a ragged laugh. Hey, do you know I'm a virgin? You are, Naruto said in honest surprise. The way she'd been acting certainly hadn't been his idea of a virgin's behavior. That's right, up until now I have never even kissed a boy. I've always managed just on my charm. I've street USD my racist techniques, but I had never put any of them into practice. You were going to be my first, I was going to give you my virginity. And you rejected me so you could stay friends with Mocha. I am sorry, it's just, he heard a sudden tearing sound and saw two bat-like wings sprout out of her back. Her fingernails grew and turned into foot-long claws. I am seriously pissed off now. She came at him with those claws. In the confined space he was just able to dodge her. He saw her claws clean through the wooden door, reducing it to kindling. Let's take this outside. He would need room and performed a quick substitution. Seeing him disappear and be replaced by a log, she was determined not to let him get away. She said through the window, not bothering to open it or to put on her school uniform. XXXXXXXXXX. Circling above, she scanned the grounds below. Where are you? I am so going to KU. Watching while remaining carefully hidden behind a large tree, Naruto waited for her to move off. Geez, she's not exactly subtle, is she? Eventually she moved in a different direction to continue her search. Along with kunai, Naruto kept all his ninja gear hidden on his person. He quickly set to work. He knew he could have gone to the girls' dorm to get help from Mocha or Yukari, but he figured that as a ninja he ought to be able to handle some fights on his own. XXXXXXXXXX. He had humiliated and crushed her. Leave. He actually told me to leave. I offer him this amazing body and he turns me down. I won't let him humiliate me like this. She banked back around to continue her search, and as she did so she finally spotted her prey. He was standing right out in the open behind two large trees. Seeing her, he actually waved and shouted to her. If you really want me, I'm right here. I won't run from this spot. Fine, I guess you really want to then. She dove straight for him. As she neared, she had to admit that he at least had courage, or a death wish. He was standing rooted to the spot, not even trying to run or dodge. And just as she was almost on top of him, the moon came out from behind some clouds. Its light made a bunch of little lines running between the two trees sparkle. Is that wire? By the time she spotted it, it was much too late to avoid his trap. She flew straight into the wire. The lines snapped off the trees and quickly wrapped around her, pinning her arms and wings to her body. She screamed as she crashed down to earth. When the dust finally settled, she looked up to see Naruto calmly standing over her with some kind of knife in one hand. She flopped about like a fish on a hook, but the more she struggled, the tighter the wire seemed to bind her. Don't bother, Naruto told her. Thin as it is, that's ninja wire, it's as strong as steel. Seeing as she couldn't get loose, she stopped struggling and glared up at him. When I get out of this, I am still going to kill you. Really? Then I guess I had better finish you off now while I can. Saying so, he knelt down over her with his knife. He looked very serious. Wah. What? You wouldn't kill a girl, would you? Especially not a helpless one. Naruto shook his head. You really have no idea what a ninja is, do you? A ninja is always ready to kill when necessary, regardless of the situation. She stared at the strange knife he held. You're really going to kill me? Why shouldn't I? You attacked me without warning, and now you're telling me that you'll come after me again if I let you go. You really aren't leaving me with many options, are you? She began to cry. I'm sorry. Please don't kill me, she wailed. Okay. Just promise you'll stop attacking me and I'll let you go. She looked at him hopefully through her tears. Really? You're not going to hurt me? Naruto shook his head. I haven't killed anyone yet. I'm sure I'll have to one day. And somehow I get this feeling it may be someday soon. But I'd rather not have my very first victim be a beautiful girl who wanted to sleep with me. Despite being bound and helpless, it still pleased her to hear him say that. Do you really think I'm beautiful? Of course. Like I said, if I'd met you a week ago. Anyway, will you promise not to attack me or any of my friends? I won't, I swear it. Naruto knew it was a risk, but he was sure that deep down Kurumu had not actually been malicious. He did not want to hurt her or get her into trouble. With a few flicks of his wrist, he cut the wire with his kunai. Despite being free, she made no effort to stand up. I guess I'm going to be the laughingstock of the academy tomorrow, she said dejectedly. What do you mean? I'm a succubus. I'm supposed to be irresistible to men. When everyone hears about how you rejected me, it'll be a joke. Why would they find out? We're the only ones who know what happened, and I won't say anything. She looked at him in sudden hope and surprise. But don't you want to tell everyone about this? Nope. I promise I won't tell anyone. I won't do anything that hurts you. I actually believe him. She felt her face get hot and her heart began beating faster. Thank you, Naruto-kun. He smiled at her. You're welcome, Kurumu-chan. He brought his hands together to make some signs. Well, good night. Wait, what? She looked down a bit embarrassed. Could you please walk me back to my dorm? You're not going to fly. My wings are kind of tired. Well, if you want, I can jutsu both of us. Your jutsu, kind of scares me. Could you just walk me back to my dorm, please? I would really appreciate it. Well, okay. I guess, but here, he pulled off his school jacket and handed it to her. Put this on. She gratefully put on his jacket and then took a hold of his arm as they walked back together. XXXXXXXXXX. The next morning, Mocha and Yukari were outside the main entrance of Naruto's dorm waiting for him. As they stood there, they heard the boys buzzing about last night's events. Did you hear? That weird half-breed had a girl in his room last night. No way. I swear. I'm on the 3rd floor, I heard a girl screaming. And his door was destroyed and his room messed up. Since they knew Naruto was the only half-breed staying at the dorm, they were both wondering about what they were hearing. Do you suppose? Mocha asked nervously. No way, Yukari said firmly. Naruto would never have a girl in his room, unless it were us. Before long, Naruto finally appeared. He was looking a bit different this morning. His school jacket was missing, and along with his backpack for his books he had a small plastic bag. Good morning, Mocha chirped happily. Good morning, Yukari greeted. Good morning, Naruto returned. Together they set out for the academy. Naruto-kun, Mocha asked curiously. Where is your jacket? Oh, I had to loan it to someone. Really? Who? Good morning, Naruto-kun. A girl's voice sang out. Three of them looked up to see Kurumu approaching them. She handed him a jacket. I wanted to return this, I cleaned it for you. Thank you for lending it to me. No problem. Taking and putting his jacket on, he handed her the plastic bag he was carrying. Here are the clothes you left in my room. Nani? Mocha thought but was too stunned to say anything. Arigato. Kurumu held out a plate to him. I made some cookies, would you like to eat them with me? Thanks, he took one. Chocolate chip, my favorite. Kurumu laughed happily. Yahoo, I'll make them for you whenever you want, Naruto-kun. Please think of it as a way to say thank you for not hurting me when you had me tied up and helpless. Tied up and helpless. Mocha's face was going red as she imagined various scenarios. You know, Naruto-kun, there is something very important you should know. I have an important mission I must perform on behalf of my race. We succubus must go through a great many men in order to find our destined one. The one we will spend our lives with and have a family with. She began to blush heavily. After last night, I've decided it's you. What? He began to cough as he choked on a cookie. So when do you want to get married? Kurumu asked happily. Bam! Ow! Kurumu rubbed the top of her head after having a pot fall on it. Naruto-kun would never want a big bed sow like you. Yukari said angrily, he's going to marry Mocha and then eventually when I'm older they'll invite me into their bed and the three of us will be very happy. Right, Naruto-kun? Didn't we talk about this yesterday? There is no way. Mocha suddenly grabbed his arm. Naruto-kun, what is this girl to you? What exactly happened last night? Well, you see, after taking Yukari's wand and tossing it, Kurumu grabbed his other arm, pressing her BS eagerly against it. Darling, would you prefer a big fancy wedding or an intimate little ceremony? Because I am fine with either. Let go of him, Naruto-kun is mine. Mocha said desperately. Naruto, please say something. He glanced down at his wristwatch. Will you look at the time? I've got to go. Hey, don't. Despite having the two girls hanging on to him, he managed to slip loose just long enough to perform a couple hand signs and disappear, a log, puffing, into his place. The two girls looked glumly at one another. Does he do that a lot? Kurumu asked. I'm afraid so. Mocha said. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.